message to the public and the government is that education in this country is in a crisis.
50,000 teachers
under increasing stress
have gone on strike.
is officially New Zealand's largest industrial action.
Thousands of primary school teachers and their supporters have taken to the streets across New Zealand in an effort to secure better wages and conditions from the government.
Today we're sending the government a message. This message is stronger today than it has been ever.
When do we want them?
With over 50,000 teachers, principals, area schools, whānau across the country marching today.
When do we want them? When do we want? When do we want them?
Standing in front of all of you today. I'm a teacher. I'm just like you. Show me your hands if you know it's a struggle out there. Today, we are united. We stand here united for a better education. United for our profession. We've been left with no choice. Today, the government needs to listen. I urge them to take action. Make education a priority.
That's a really good question. When I was at university, I just went and basically started with all of the things that I love to do. So I went and I did a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Music and all the things that I was passionate in. And then I kind of got to the stage where I wanted to get some more money. And so I started tutoring. And I loved the tutoring side of the work that I was doing. So I was doing babysitting and I was also doing tutoring, and the tutoring was really rewarding. I had a couple of students and seeing them grow was just wonderful. And so I finished my undergraduate degree and I decided that teaching was the best place for me to go. My cousin's a teacher, my auntie's a teacher, my other auntie's a teacher. Yeah, so it was very much a natural progression, really. And it was actually much to the dismay of my dear mother, because she had always told me not to be a teacher. She is a primary school teacher and she just thought it was too hard and too much work, basically. She didn't think it was the best thing for me to go and do. She thought that it was also not perceived well by society.
How much do you think your work week is? How many hours?
I wouldn't even want to count it.
That's okay.
So do you mind holding that up? There we go.
Workload.
The workload.
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 Class sizes. Class sizes.
Class size?
Class sizes.
Dealing with the number of kids I have in my class.
We just are under-resourced and underfunded in special needs and in learning difficulties. All the different learning needs.
The learning needs.
There's a lot of really high special needs kids coming into schools.
More support with special needs children.
More support for kids with special needs.
Supporting children who have learning needs in classes. Not just academic learning needs, but also
There are really quite severe social issues around poverty and hunger.
they're coming to school hungry, they've got issues from when they were in the womb.
Abuse and neglect.
Because the issues are every single day, every minute of the day.
And teachers are having to deal with all of these complications on a moment-by-moment basis, and it's incredibly stressful.
It's ridiculous. You know, I get to work at 7, I go home at 5, I make dinner for my family, and then I keep working till 10 or 11. Most nights.
At what point does our job end and someone else's begin? And thinking about, our role and where it begins and ends, certainly something that concerns me is in relation to student mental health. and well-being.
There's a lot of also just concern for students, not necessarily concern, but also just of their well-being.
That concerns me because if you've got a student that you're worried about in terms of their mental health, you cannot go home and stop worrying about it.
So we are usually the biggest kind of thing that they see throughout the week, apart from their friends. So if we do hear something, like just in the classroom, or if they say something to us, then that's kind of our responsibility to pass it on to where it needs to go.
I think the nature of teachers, they're empathetic people with who are, with big hearts, but who are in the job. You just couldn't do it if you didn't have some passion and drive for it, and so that becomes something that is really you take home with you.
Every year we see more students with issues coming in, such as learning difficulties or mental health issues. Every year it seems to get more and more. So it's definitely an increasing responsibility that we have in the classroom.
I started teaching because I love helping out the children.
Because I was passionate and I love children.
I really love working with children.
Love kids, love working with the kids.
I wanted to work with young people.
Do it because you care.
I do the job because I love the job, I love teaching, I love making a difference.
I thought I want to make a difference in the world.
I wanted to make a difference.
I was inspired by teachers that I had as a child.
I had awesome teachers when I was growing up, and I just wanted to make a difference for the kids like my teachers made for me.
But the way things are at the moment, it feels like I'm just treading water and I'm not making the difference that I want to make.
It's burning me out.
I can see the burnout in the teachers that I work with.
I'm only in my second year of teaching, and I don't know if I can stay in it. It's way too hard.
It's really hard, and I don't know if I would see it as a future career.
I think the connection with the students is the most important part of being a teacher. Being able to share that passion, being able for them to trust you, that mutual trust is the most important thing of teaching, I believe. Making sure that they feel safe in my classroom, that they're engaged, interested in what we're doing, and that they see me as an approachable person, because if I'm not approachable, then they're not going to ask questions, they're not going to develop and be able to, become better English students, but also better people. With all the recent strikes, and there were lots of newspaper articles, when I go through and I read the comments, it was very demoralising, and yeah, people were just like, stop reading them, because people say awful things about teachers.
In terms of changes that need to happen, I think, yes, the money would be great, that's one thing, but what the money does is it shows everyone that the profession is more valuable.
I've seen over the 40 years of my teaching a continued devaluation of our services.
Valuing of teachers isn't really there.
I feel I'm not as valued.
We get into the job knowing that it's going to be a thankless profession, but at the same time, we just like to see a little bit of support back from the government and things like that.
I don't see currently teaching as a full-time option for me for the rest of my life. I think part-time I could do it. But yeah, once I have kids, I spend so much time outside of work hours doing schoolwork that I wouldn't have time for that, for family. At the moment, I can just see burnout, on the horizon. Yeah, I've been considering what other options I could have, and I guess there are other things that I could definitely go and do, but teaching is what I love. Yeah.
So I'm on strike because I think for the future of teaching, things really have to change quite radically.
Otherwise, people, the country is not going to have teachers.
We stand united and say enough is enough. Today we stand up for the future of our profession. Today I stand beside you with education in crisis.